Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And one of us just got done seeing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Is it the lifelong Jurassic Park fan or the guy who just kind of like, yeah, I got into Jurassic Park a couple years ago?
We'll let you decide.
Ooh, such suspense.
That's right, folks. Let me put your suspense. Feel suspense no further, because I'll tell you what the answer is, Raffer, because we like you. Wasn't me. It was this guy over here for, you see, 2015. Tiki, his nostalgic wishes were poised to come true with Jurassic World. It was going to be, it was the comeback, baby. It was like the big, for me, it's always been, Deadpool making its way on screen. For Tiki, it's been, Jurassic Park coming back in a big way via Jurassic World. Oh my God, what a title. So, suffice it to say, the diehard Jurassic Park fans were a little let down by Jurassic World.
I feel like Jurassic World is a movie that casual fans love, but diehard fans like me are just kind of like, yeah, that exists.
Right, and as I tease, again, as all of my wishes came true the following year with Deadpool, Tiki stewed on it. He was just kind of stewing on. He was kind of processing, the kind of the impact that Jurassic World again did not live up to his expectations. I'm not saying it's a horrible movie. I'm just saying that to a dire Jurassic Park fan, it didn't live up to the hype, and he's just stewing on it for roughly a year. He's for more than a year, honestly. He's stewing on it, and he had adjusted his expectations for the inevitable, because it's Hollywood, folks, after all, for the inevitable Jurassic World 2, as we learned, the Fallen Kingdom. So now it's 2018. Deadpool 2 delivered for me big time, yet again. But the real question is, even with, lower and safer expectations, how did Tiki feel? So, Tiki, don't keep us in suspense any further. What'd you think?
This is by far the best Jurassic Park movie outside of the first one.
Really?
I mean, you have to keep in mind, before this, I thought Jurassic Park 3 was the best one outside of the first one. So it's not exactly a high bar we're reaching here, folks.
I mean, the only competition it had was Sarah. So,
That's Lost World, Dragon, not Jurassic Park.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it was either Jurassic 3 or it was like Sarah.
Specifically, Jurassic Park 3, the competition there is Alan.
Exactly. It's Alan versus Sarah. That's really kind of... It's kind of slim pickings. And I would probably go on Jurassic World. Bear in mind, I really haven't seen Jurassic Park 3, so I can't really make that fair assumption. So, Tiki, tell us why.
Okay, here's the deal with this movie.
By the way, folks, of course, no spoilers. So, completely spoiler-free. Go on.
It's not a perfect movie. I wouldn't even say it's a great movie, honestly, but it is a very good movie by all intents and purposes. Right. It's a fun, thrilling summer popcorn blockbuster movie that has a little bit more to say underneath the surface of it all. And Dragon, I've got to say, basically, here's how the movie broke down for me. Opening sequence, fantastic. Like, I've heard this opening sequence hyped up for me, and it didn't disappoint. Loved it. Honestly, might be the best opening sequence of any Jurassic Park movie. And we get kind of the setup to the island, and it's like kind of just like, all right, that's, it's fine. It's just set up. The island stuff, Dragon, is actually really, really good.
I had assumed it was going to be good. That's good.
Then, however, the movie kind of puts its foot on the brakes. And this is where I'm mixed on the movie. This is where the movie is definitely not a great movie by any stretch. I don't want to give away the plot points that get us from the island to the mansion, but let's just say it's not great, Dragon. It's not great. It's let's just say there's missed opportunities. There's characters that get kind of completely dropped off the face of the map. It's kind of sloppy storytelling. But by the time we get to that mansion and we get to the third act, Dragon, holy shit, this movie picks up. And I'm just going to say it. This movie has the best ending to any Jurassic Park movie as well.
So if I'm hearing you right, you're saying there's kind of the transition point between end of Act 2 to Act 3. There's a little bumpy, but Act 3, that's when things ramp up. Is that what you're saying?
Act 3 is fantastic. Act 1 is really good. I would say Act 3 is even better than Act 1.
Okay.
Act 2 is bad, and Act 2 is unfortunately a good chunk of the movie.
All right, so Act 2 in the whole is just that's where things get really kind of like dicey.
Yeah. So again, Dragon, it's like, God damn it, I have like a 75% on this one. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't win them all, folks, but at the end of the day, Dragon, I'm walking away with this much better, much more satisfying experience than the original Jurassic World. I feel like the characters, though the characters aren't great, they're a little bit more fleshed out. I feel like specifically, Dragon, the improvement for me kind of came on the villain side of things.
Let me ask you,
interesting kind of bad guy sort of conspiracy going on in this one.
Let me ask you this:
Sure.
the kids, the nephews to the Bryce Dallas Howard character, Claire, I think, are they in this at all, or what?
Nope.
Okay, that might
not even a Lost World style cameo, Dragon. Nothing. They're not even mentioned.
Surely, I'm on pins and needles wondering if Judy Greer's marriage is going to work out. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, tell me this. Just tease this for me. All right, I don't need to know all the ins and outs, but again, the main thing I really gravitate towards with Jurassic World, my favorite scene in that movie involves Chris Pratt. So how's the Pratt of it all, man?
He's fine, and I think the Owen character in general is just fine. I think in this one he does a little bit better job of not necessarily just playing Star-Lord. Like, he's got a little bit more emotional depth to work with in this one.
Do we oversell the military thing again with him?
No, not really. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things I kind of like in this movie. Like, in this movie, the idea of weaponizing dinosaurs is there, but that's not like the main part of the conspiracy. I will say this much, Dragon. I will say this much. There's a kid in this movie, and I have a feeling that the internet is going to fucking like lose its goddamn mind over the reveal that we get with this kid. All right, like the internet is going to shit bricks with the reveal that we get with this kid. And I personally fucking loved it. Like, I thought it was a really ingenious way to be like, oh, okay, that makes total sense with everything that we've set up with all the character motivations. Like, all right, I get it. But the internet is not going to get it, Dragon. The internet is going to absolutely fucking crucify it. So I'm going to warn you right now. I can already tell that's going to be the most divisive part of the movie.
All right.
Is everything with this little girl. Unfortunately, the T-Rex still didn't get enough to do for me.
Well, speaking of the T-Rex, tell me this: how are we on a fan service level in this one? Is it natural? Is it over? Does it more than
for the most part, it's very natural. The only thing that's a little bit kind of there's some weird like member berries for the first Jurassic World movie, which is like, come on, guys, the first Jurassic World movie is like 3 years old. We don't need member berries for this stuff yet. But generally speaking, I'd say, honestly, Dragon, the thing I like about this movie is like Jurassic Park's Drunken Last Jedi.
I'm sorry, you say Drunken Last Jedi?
Yes, I'm saying it's the Drunken Last Jedi of the Jurassic Park franchise.
I could buy that. All right.
Where it does some really interesting, really bold new things with the universe and the franchise that I personally love, but I think the internet as a whole is going to hate.
Well, technically, you could just say it's The Last Jedi then, where Drunken doesn't really just how the internet's still going to respond to it.
Well, no, but I'm saying Drunken because it's not nearly as good of a movie as The Last Jedi is. That's right. I said The Last Jedi was a damn good movie.
I know. I'm with you. I liked it too. Yeah.
I just recently had an experience that reaffirmed my love of The Last Jedi when I introduced it to a friend, but I digress. I don't want to turn this into a Last Jedi conversation.
Sure. Well, oh, by the way, real quick, the guy with one more, I'm sure he's not in the movie. Just out of curiosity, because I was rewatching, because I think it's been either they've been airing on TV or it was like on one of the premium channels. I don't remember. But the guy with the dinosaur toys who wore the original Jurassic Park shirt, like the guy in the control room. Was he in this at all?
No.
I had a feeling, just a little, had a safe feeling about that one.
I will say who is in this, and it's pretty good when we get him.
Oh, I wonder who it is.
Well, no, it's the Goldblum is obviously in the movie.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Someone else.
Yeah. Do you want me to say who?
No, don't say who. We'll see who it is. It's okay, but it's more than Goldblum. Okay.
It's more than Goldblum. Yes.
So how is Gold? Just again, without saying how much or what, how is he in the movie?
He has two quick scenes. Pretty much what you saw in the trailer, if I'm being honest. But Dragon, I really love the way that he's used in the movie. I think the way they use him is ingenious.
Good.
Especially his second scene. Right. So when he disappears from the movie, don't fret because he'll be back.
Okay. Well, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, let me ask you this. Does it feel at all derivative of The Lost World to you?
That's a good question. This movie feels like the sequel that The Lost World should have been.
Okay.
Where it's definitely got some qualities to The Lost World in there, but my God, it's a better movie than The Lost World. I mean, and keep in mind, folks, I recognize that The Lost World, like, we've had this conversation a bunch of times here on the channel. The Lost World is probably the most competently made Jurassic Park sequel just because it is a Spielberg movie. That doesn't mean I have to like it, folks. There's so many things off with The Lost World. Like, you know, there are a couple key, like, really memorable set pieces in that movie. As a whole, the movie really doesn't work. Dragon, J.A. Bayona, I really do think he got a good tone going with this movie, where it is very contemplative. Like I said, I think The Last Jedi comparison really is on point because, as I said, Dragon, kind of the thing that had me buzzing walking out of the theater was like, oh man, like I was not expecting the Jurassic franchise to go there, but now that we're here, I'm really excited to see where we go next.
Speaking of The Lost World, let me ask you this. So, I was thinking of The Lost World. I was thinking that the Julianne Moore character has a lot of similar issues to the Claire character from Jurassic World. So it's it's on my mind here. Did Claire improve at all in this movie?
Yes, in that she's not running around in fucking high heels the whole movie.
Did they do like a thing where they all reference the whole high heel thing?
I kind of wish they did, but no.
All right.
Unfortunately. But honestly, Dragon, to tell you the truth, the weak point with the Jurassic World franchise as opposed to the Jurassic Park franchise is, like, even in the weaker Jurassic Park movies, I still feel like we had memorable side characters and supporting characters. And in this, even our main cast is kind of weak sauce. I still feel that. Like, Chris Pratt is just kind of being Chris Pratt. Bryce Dallas Howard is, I don't know, Dragon. I'm sorry. You defend the poor girl for some reason. I've always thought she's been a really bland actress.
Look, I'll admit. I'll defend her, but I'll admit, looking back on the movie, I will say there's more faults with her than I realized in the first view.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that character is deeply flawed.
So, like I said, Dragon, I really do think this movie is, it's a good time if you're drunk, but it's a good time if you're drunk on, like, let's say it's like a classy drunk. Let's say it's like, drinking from a 1942 bottle of Pinot Noir. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to need to drink that Pinot Noir to get the good time, but it's a classy good time.
All right.
Okay, is that it, Dragon?
Okay, well, one last parting. Let me get your opinion on one last thing here. There's a little tease here. Okay, so, do you think there's natural sequel room?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God, yes, so much.
Okay, so it's not going to be like, hey, let's come back again because, sequel money.
No. This is the biggest sequel bait out of any of the Jurassic Park franchise, and I cannot wait to see where we go next with it.
It's a kind of positive sequel bait then.
Yes, positive sequel bait. Absolutely. For me. Like, I'm not sure how the internet at large is going to feel about it, just like I'm not sure how the internet at large is going to feel about the reveal with the little girl. But for me, both of those things really work.
So it sounds like to me that you would like the director of this movie to return for a sequel, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Get him back. Maybe do a little bit more work ironing out the second act and definitely do a little bit more work with the dragon. I will say the supporting characters in this movie are literally a joke.
Really?
Like, they literally drop out of the movie. It's like the movie literally forgets they're there.
All right.
So that is one major con I have with it. So, like I said, Dragon, it's definitely not a perfect movie by any stretch. And it's not as classy of a movie as The Last Jedi is. Whether you love or hate it, you got to admit The Last Jedi has kind of like a regal quality to it. But I mean, I definitely can see myself watching this more. Like, I already want to watch it again, and that's, to tell you the truth, honestly. Like I saw Jurassic Park 3 like 4 times in theaters when I was a kid, but that's just because it was a Jurassic Park movie in theaters, and it was the first one that I had the opportunity to see in theaters. This one is the first one that I legitimately want to see again because I thought it was a really good movie, and I want to see the pieces come together again.
All right. Well, I'll be seeing it. I'll be seeing it probably in the vicinity of next week with another diehard Jurassic Park fan. So we'll see how that goes. So
Ooh, that'll be interesting. You'll have to tell me how another diehard Jurassic Park fan feels about this movie because I have a feeling it's going to be very divisive.
Sure. We'll see what happens.
Okay, folks. Well, we'll definitely be talking about the spoiler cast probably late next week. It's going to be a little bit late with the spoiler cast, but I'm excited to get into it because, like I said, there's some game-changing stuff in this movie for the Jurassic franchise that I'm excited to get into that not everyone is going to be keen on. All right, but in the meantime, folks, just remember one thing. These creatures were here before us, and if we're not careful, they're going to be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.